How do I keep them out of a lifestyle that's going to lead them to certain destruction? Because they're hung up in it. They got caught up. They got swallowed up in the evil that's in the world. God uses them because our disappointments are His appointments. It may be a disappointment to you. It may be heartbreak to you. But it's a God appointment. Sometimes God has to custom make problems to teach us faith, to test us. Jonah had a custom made problem. Swallowed him up, but it got his attention. Why? Because he wasn't willing to be obedient to what God had. Why? Because the salvation of a nation was at stake. Sometimes God creates problems that seem to swallow us up. Well, I was swallowed up. I was swallowed up in the midst of it. What does that mean? You have nothing else to look to and no one else to look to except the Lord. Jonah 2:7. When I lost all, I once again turned my thoughts to God. Sometimes it takes losing it all. The great entrepreneur Dave Ramsey. Anybody listen to the Dave Ramsey show? Anybody ever heard of Dave Ramsey? He's a great financial guru. A lot of churches are teaching his Financial Peace University. He says the only way to true financial peace is to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Huh? He was swallowed up. As a young man, an entrepreneur in real estate sales, he was a multi-millionaire and lost it all. Went bankrupt. Lost everything. Was on the verge of losing his wife and his family. He turned to Jesus Christ and swallowed him up. It was bigger than he was. But when he found out what Jonah found out, I turned my thoughts to Christ. You see, God uses these kinds of things to test our faith. All kinds, if you will. Because if life were easy, then it wouldn't require faith. If you could feel good all the time, you'd just go by your feelings. But sometimes God removes His feelings, the feelings of His presence. So you just learn to trust Him in the difficulties. There were times, there was a 400-year span, that there was nothing heard from God or the prophets. Joseph was in prison. And for 12 years, he didn't hear anything from God. How'd you like to not feel or hear anything from God? Nothing. You just learn to trust Him. Isaiah 48:10. I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. What is your furnace of affliction? You've been there. The heat's on. And you're turning up the heat. The heat's on. It's the real test. How are you doing in the furnace of affliction? Feeling the heat? I've been feeling some of it this week. I've been feeling some of it this past year. Oh yeah. You feel it. God, how's it going to turn out? What's going to happen?